Hey, it's David. Welcome back to the Orangeville House Prices Report. And this is our January edition. It's also going to include a little bit of what happened at the end of last year, because I was a little late in getting that out. So what I like to do is I like to treat people differently than your traditional real estate agent. I know a lot of people feel like they're getting the taxi cab service where they get driven around and then dropped off, and then they really just feel like they've just been taken for a ride, and they didn't have necessarily the greatest experience. I like to take the limousine approach, where when you're finished working with me and you've purchased your new home, that you're so happy and excited when you get out of the limo that you'd like to tell all your friends and family, and it's a lifetime relationship that I like to build. That's how I like to work. And so when I bring you these reports, there's going to be a lot of different factors that come into place, especially with your home, because your home is very different than what the stats may read. From one street to another, it's very different. Even in Orangeville, the north section of Orangeville is a lot different than the south. So just keep that in mind when we go through the report here. Now, we'll start off with our graph, and I always like to look at this is because it gives you a real visual indication as to where the market's been and what it's been doing. And one thing I find fascinating is we're starting off this year on a fairly good note. Okay, obviously we're following the normal trends where things are starting to rise, but last year we tailed off and we did extremely well. Now there was certainly a bigger gap between the home prices from 2012 and 2013, as opposed to the beginning of the year where there was a shorter gap in the difference of prices. And really what that equates to in the last 3 years is basically a $70,000 difference between the prices of homes. So when is the best time to buy? Well, probably yesterday. But today would be a good start for some people. So if you're on the fence and you're thinking about trying to make a decision as to whether you're going to sell your house or whether you're going to upgrade and buy another one, or you're going to downsize, there's a lot of factors that really come into play. This is just a visual representation as to what's been going on over the last number of years. Now, once we dig into the meat of the properties here, I find it very fascinating because for the detached homes, last year we finished off extremely well. I mean, the sales to new listings that were coming on, we basically sold everything and more. So we had more than 100%. So we had a little bit of a backlog with regards to properties that were sold. And a nice way to end off the year. Now, starting off for the month of January, what we normally see is we see an uptick of new properties that are getting listed. So your absorption rate is about 50%. Average days on market has certainly gone up a little bit over the last couple of months. We're at 64 days as it is now. The price of homes have also obviously changed over the last couple of months as well. So, I mean, we had an average price selling at $404,000, but the median price is probably one that you probably want to look at a little bit more, because sometimes you have properties where they sell extremely high, but it's a one-off, and that can kind of skew the numbers. So that's why we have the median price to see where not the average, but where the most likely homes are selling for in a certain price range, and this is where it's come in at. Now, the one thing that I find interesting as well as what's been going on with semi-detached. The fall market, we were basically selling everything that was listed plus another one on top of that, kind of clearing out some of that other inventory. And then it really died off in January. I mean, we only had 25%. Now, again, we're talking small numbers here. And then this past month in January, we're kind of right back up to 80%. So things are certainly moving in the right direction with regards to that. But we've also seen the average days on the market go up, and this is normal when you start getting into the winter months. And then our freehold, we've seen, of course, it's the lower end of the spectrum of homes before you get into condos, and these are all doing fairly well. I mean, you're pretty much selling everything that gets listed and more. So the turnover rate is extremely high, and the days on market. I mean, we had 4 days on the market for that one property that sold in December, and then now we've got 32 days on the market for the 5 properties. So you can kind of see where things were at. Now, where things were at last month, in December of last year, we listed, there was 20 properties that got sold. We had 97 active. We had basically 20 properties that were new, so we had an absorption rate of like 100%. So it's not surprising just where things were at the tail end of last year. And then sometimes people think that how can that be? Sometimes when there's a lack of inventory on the market, you get some serious buyers in December and pretty much buy up what's on the market. And then how we did last year was fairly well, actually. We had 630 sales. There was 981 active homes that came on the market. So we had an absorption rate of 64%. So basically 2 for 1, when it comes to selling. So fairly well with regards to that. We ended off with the average price of the property selling at $345,000. Median price wasn't too far off at $330,000. Average days on the market with 37, with an average selling price of 98%. So it's a fairly strong marketplace right now, and we've been seeing this for year over year over year. The buyer's market is when you start seeing a 20% sales to new listings, and we start seeing more of a buyer's market when you see 50%. So right now we're seeing it at 64. So we're seeing it in the buyer's side of things. So just some things to consider. And then I'm just scrolling by some of the nice things that people have mentioned about us. And then here we also have the website where the video exists. So if you're looking at your email, then you can go over to the website there, and the link is there along with all the other properties I've sold over the last 60 to 90 days. These are all the ones that have sold in our area, in the Orangeville area. So you can see them all there. And then if you'd like to get more detailed and more information, there's 3 things that you can take advantage of. And one is having me come over and we'll do a pinpoint price analysis of your home, and this is where we take a closer look and prepare your home for a particular price range, because it's things that you can do that can help. But we want to make sure that we can kind of narrow down that price point, to get the best amount for your home, and get the best amount, but also a fair amount at the same time. The second thing is the room-by-room review, and this is where it's more of a closer look at your home, and we go from room to room and we do a review on things that you can do, things that can add value, some of the costs that may be associated with preparing your home to get it ready for sale. So it gives you a more detailed ideas to what you can do. And then the third is the silent market of homes. Now, the silent market of homes is what I like to do, and I've been slowly starting to do this and integrate it into the Orangeville Daily Homes. Is there are people who are looking in particular marketplaces. Okay, some people that are looking in Montgomery Village who are waiting for a particular property to come up on a street. Then there are some people, again, who are looking into the, just in the country, again, for a particular type of home. And what I like to do is, sometimes people come to our site, the Orangeville Daily Homes, and they're looking for, they may be just starting their home search. They may be, halfway through getting prepared to list their home and look for the next one. And so they come to us at different stages. And sometimes I like to look at it and say, well, where would you go if there wasn't an MLS system? And so I like to try to marry up people who are, that are looking to buy, but then people who are thinking about selling. And if we can kind of marry it up together, it can be a win-win for everybody involved. So that's just another aspect of what you can expect with the silent market. So hopefully you enjoyed it, everybody. And until next month, probably 30 days from now, I will make sure I'll get the February report out to you as well. Okay, thank you and have a great day.